fiesta lunch was prepared and stood on open tables in a pavilion-like structure located in the center of the town. Speeches and entertainment preceded the luncheon. After lunch, we left Capo Ocan to visit Breakneck Ridge. Again, rain seemed to be the order of the day. Another great struggle took place here with elements of the 24th Division. We stopped briefly at a town called Le Mans. Since we reached the maximum distance of the tour, it became necessary to turn the buses around in the middle of a two-lane highway. This took some time and some doing, as you can see. Our tour for the day is over as we head back to the hotel. We will rest and get ready for another party. It is now the evening of October 19, and the people of Palo are hosting a fiesta in the town square with the Palo Cathedral and Hill 522 as backdrops. Much eating and entertainment fill the evening. It is early Saturday morning, October 20, and we are going to watch a rehearsal of the planned mock landing. The parade and ceremonies planned for this day were postponed until the 21st because the President and First Lady could not leave Manila in the early morning of October 20 because of poor weather conditions in the Manila area, which made it necessary to cancel all flights. So we were told. In the meantime, it was decided to have another rehearsal, and all were invited to watch. It was a bright, mostly sunny morning. Colonel Barry Howard, Vice Commander of Clark Air Base, will play the part of General Douglas MacArthur. And there he is, reading the General's great "I Have Returned" speech. It is early in the a.m. of Sunday, October 21, and we are going to Red Beach to participate in the 40th anniversary celebration of the Leyte Landing, as the Filipinos call it. Racing through Tacloban in the early morning, we catch a fleeting glimpse of the Santo Nino Shrine and Heritage Museum in Tacloban. And there it is. It is a bright and sunny day. The weather is on our side today. As we arrive at Red Beach, the first thing we see are the Japanese veterans relieving themselves on some coconut trees in plain view of everyone. Not unusual among Japanese, but we couldn't help avoid seeing it. We were surprised. Many groups of parade participants are beginning to gather in this area for the long wait for the parade to begin. As the sun rises higher and higher, so does the temperature. Though it is partly cloudy, the sun gleams down upon us most of the time. We arrived at Red Beach at 7 a.m. The parade didn't start until about 3 hours later. No explanation was offered for the long delay, but later we were told that the President and First Lady were delayed in their departure from Manila in the early morning of October 21. The parade finally got underway about 10 a.m. Here are the 24th Division veterans led by General Bob Spraggins, followed by some veterans from the 339th Engineers, including their commander during the Philippine campaigns, Major Bill Bradley, now Major General retired. There are some veterans from the 77th Division and from the 96th Division. We may not have marched with a quick step, but we marched with enthusiasm. After the military parade had passed, several Filipino farmers passed the reviewing stand boasting of yellow corn hybrids and the President Marcos National Recovery Program. Corn had been introduced as a new crop in the Philippines a few years ago.
The belief that the brotherhood of men transcends the sovereignty of nations.
The island of Leyte reminds all of us of the historic struggle of the Philippine people for freedom.
Ambassador Bosworth of the United States, Mrs. Bosworth, Ambassador Okawa of Japan, Shaka.
Ani ang Presidente Marcos, igagman ang iyo anak na Imelda. Niyang masisiring nato na bugos na kalibutan ang mga waray-waray may ada-ada na yana. Bisang mga karabaw nagdara nahin mga kaupayan. salit, mga kabugtuan, pasalamat kita Diyos, pasalamat kita sa Estados Unidos, nga sa'y nagtambulig sa aton, nagbulig sa aton ang liberation.
The parade is over. It is about noontime, and selected guests, including all the Reunion for Peace party, were invited to a picnic lunch at Imelda Park, which had a large picnic grove under the shade of many coconut trees located on Red Beach. The park is located only a few yards from where the place where General MacArthur waded ashore October 20, 1944. Joe is talking to Erlinda Reyes, mayor of Caibaran on the island of Bilaran, a sub-province of Leyte located at the north end of Carigara Bay. The cameraman is pointing to San Pedro Bay that was crowded with hundreds of ships 40 years ago. The waves wash over sand that once bore the weight of thousands of men and tons of equipment in a time that is becoming legend rather than just a memory. It is Monday morning, October 22. We are back on Luzon and at this time are heading north out of the Metro Manila area. It was raining when we arrived back in Manila late Sunday afternoon, and it still is. We have arrived at Clark Field for a brief tour of the base. Later, we arrived at the officers' mess for a lunch. The rain discouraged any lengthy tour of the base. General Bradley and General Sprague's talk with Colonel Barry Howard, vice commander of the base, who, only the day before, waded ashore on Red Beach at Leyte, portraying General Douglas MacArthur. The mountain in the background is Mount Ararat. The entrance to the base has a rather unusual gate. It is shaped like an oriental work hat, an umbrella-shaped straw hat. We are leaving the air base and are passing through Angeles and Mabalacat. We are in the province of Pampanga. We have stopped to see the Japanese monument to commemorate the only kamikaze training center in the Pacific Ocean area. Here, Japanese volunteer pilots trained for one-way flights to crash their aircraft onto U.S. naval vessels in the late 1944 and 1945. We are now at Capas. This is the place where the Bataan Death March terminated. The march began at Mariveles, at the southern tip of Bataan, a distance of about 70 miles. A group of Filipino veterans and ladies auxiliary greeted us at the monument base. A brief ceremony was held. It was raining lightly. Mount Ararat, a useful landmark, appears in the background. The monument in bas relief depicts some of the atrocities that the Japanese carried out against Filipino and American soldiers who surrendered at Bataan in 1942. We are passing through Paniqui in the province of Tarlac, and we are now entering the province of Pangasinan. There have been many rainstorms and typhoon conditions in this area. The bridge that crosses the Pampanga River has collapsed, and we have come to a detour. A temporary one-lane bridge of the type built during World War II. The Pampanga River has been swollen by heavy rainfall. We have turned off of National Highway 3, which we had been following all day, and are now on Highway 11, which winds up the mountain to Baguio City. The map shows the location of Baguio City in relation to Manila and Clark Field. It is Tuesday, October 23, and we are visiting the mansion, summer home of the President and First Lady. Baguio has been called the summer capital of the Philippines. Natives have appeared in their brightly colored costumes. They are members of the primitive Igorot tribe of northern Luzon. A light rain has been falling. There is a large store nearby that sells wood carvings and many other handmade art objects produced by Filipino artisans. Also nearby was a beautiful, well-kept place called Imelda Park. The park had many flowers in terraced gardens and an authentic Igorot village. visited Camp John Hay, a recreational center for U.S. service personnel, with the hope of touring the very attractive area. However, it began to rain very heavily, making it all but impossible to tour or photograph anything. So we were taken back to the Pines Hotel in the late morning. The rain let up a little in the afternoon, though it never stopped completely. Dr. Phil Hofstetter and I decided to walk to the marketplace in Baguio, about a mile from the hotel, using our still cameras. We walked around the area for a while, but the rain persisted, and so we decided to return to the hotel. About 11:20 p.m., shouting and loud door knocking echoed throughout the hotel, along with several muffled explosions. The hotel was on fire. Flames burst from fourth floor windows. Some of these scenes were provided by Henry and Elsie McCumbee. Flames spread rapidly from one end of the building to the other. Almost everyone in our tour group managed to escape, though at least 50 were injured in the attempt. Many were seriously injured and taken to hospitals. More than half of the group escaped from the burning building with only the clothing they were wearing. A light rain was falling continuously. Within the hour, the hotel was engulfed in flames. About 1 a.m., we were evacuated to Camp John Hay, where we were given shelter at the main clubhouse building. Blankets were passed around to help warm us up, but we were all cold and wet. We were all stunned by the disaster. No one could rest. The roll was called several times. Some names brought only silence. The members of the tour party to die in the fire were Charles and June Clark, Bill Llewellyn and his brother Joe Llewellyn, Hamilton and Lucille Cosnahan, Charles and Josephine Delameter, and one of our Filipino tour guides, Fred Latoga. We drove away from Camp John Hay about 2 p.m. Wednesday, October 24. The buses drive slowly past the gutted Pines Hotel, a once beautiful building that has become another monument to death as we start down the mountain to Clark Air Base. The lion's head was carved from a huge rock for the Lions Club of the Philippines. We have been ordered to Clark Air Base Hospital by the U.S. Ambassador for a physical checkup before returning to Manila. And so, our Reunion for Peace tour in the Philippines has ended.